Yo, 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 yo. What's up, fight fans? It's your man 3K the Boss, aka Mr. Two Hands Up. Fah Fah. You already know what it is, man. Shout out to the whole Reaper gang, gang, gang. And we back at it once again, man. So shout out to those who are in the building. Unfortunately, I had to push this joint back for a couple hours. I had to do a online conference call. Boring as fluck. But yeah, man, I had to get those things out of the way. But we here though, man. So salute to everybody that's in the building, and shout out to everybody that's gonna get here. Miguel, what it do, man? Baltimore Racks, what's goody, man? Salute to you too, bro. Hope you having a great morning, Miguel. Hope you having a great morning, man. Hey, man, I'm swell, man. I'm great, man. I can't complain. I can't complain one bit about life, man. But I wanted to continue a little bit with the conversation that I was having yesterday and Sunday. So I'm trying to give it a little second before I start up, but you know how that go. Who ain't welcome me? Oh, okay, cool. Okay, cool. I got you. So, yeah, James Jameson, salute. What's good, bro? How you feeling this morning? Man, look, man, the question must be asked, man. Is Jake and Logan Paul to blame for all of boxing's problems? Is it the Paul brothers? I don't know. Could it be? I wouldn't. I don't believe in that. I don't believe that they're the problem with boxing. Here's the deal. And I want to make this very clear. America. How do people thrive in America? Capitalism. So how can I hate on these two individuals for being smart enough to capitalize on a deflated market? So are they to blame? Fuck no. Who's to blame here? I'll tell you. Timmy Nealon, what's goody? Brody in the building. Jeff, what's goody? Brody in the building. You know what? This problem is so far beyond Jake Paul and Logan Paul, people don't even get it. And a lot of people ain't gonna like what I gotta say. When people play it back, they're gonna be in their little feelings and have their little butts hurt. But here's the deal. He ain't the problem. They're not the problem. See, should we, as a matter of fact, boxing should be thanking them. Oh, that might shock you, but they should. Because how many other boxers out here are putting 16,000 asses in seats? I'll wait. Is your favorite fighter doing it? Unless his name is Canelo. I know, man, did Manny Pacquiao do it 2 weekends ago? Or if it ain't Anthony Joshua, if it ain't Canelo, who's doing it? Crickets. Because nobody's doing it. And how many boxers exist in this sport, in the world of boxing? Don't ask me, salute. He made this very evident to me, and this was something that I already understood, and this is not something that I was trying to argue to anyone, because I'm very understanding of what's going on in boxing or whatever. And to be quite frankly, the Pauls are doing a lot for other boxers and the undercard, because to be quite frank, a lot of these boxers wouldn't receive the paydays they received if those boys wasn't top billing on the card. So no, they're not to blame. The promoters are to blame. Boxing is to blame. And I'm going to tell you why. Until we shouldn't even be in a Jake Paul, Logan Paul, KSI, little weird video gamer type atmosphere. We shouldn't be there. And you want to know why we shouldn't be there? Because has boxing tried everything? No, they haven't. Has boxing put together the necessary fight that we've asked for in the sport so we wouldn't be in this position? No, they haven't. Has boxing gave you guys the fights that you wanted to see over the summer? No, they have not. Has boxing given you the fights you wanted to see over the spring, the fucking winter, the fall? No, they have not. So when I say, yo, fall back on the Pauls and how we judging the Pauls on what they're getting, once again, capitalizing on a capitalist market, How can you be mad at them when boxing hasn't done everything that they're supposed to do? How long have you wanted Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence? How long did you want Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua? How long is Dillian White being on the sideline trying to fight Deontay Wilder? How long have you guys been asking for Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez, or Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, or Teofimo Lopez and Ryan Garcia, or Tank Davis versus them all? Shoot, Tank Davis can move from 130 all the way up to 140, backdoor fighting bums. Nobody says a word. The articles love it. The media loves it. So obviously, who's to blame here? It ain't them. It can't be them. Because until you or I or us, we get the things that we want, until then, it's going to be boxing's fault. I feel as though we shouldn't even be seeing Jake and Logan Paul until boxing has tried everything. So until boxing has tried to do everything in their power to promote these fighters, to put asses in the seats, or give us the fights that we want to see, because y'all know what I like to say, modern day fantasy fights, because you're not really, because all you're doing is talking about stuff that you're never going to see. I can't blame Jake and Logan Paul, because they'd rather run to Jake and Logan Paul because it's a sure thing than put together fights, or promoters work together to put together fights that you know are going to move the needle. Boxing does not have to be a one-off. I must express this to you guys. Boxing doesn't have to be a one-off. It doesn't have to be a card to where everybody is hanging on the freaking balls on the testicle hairs of freaking Jake and Logan Paul, hoping to get a payday. And we're bigging them up, acting like they're a major asset in the sport of boxing. And unfortunately, you might not want to hear it, but as long as Jake Paul and Logan Paul decide to be around, as long as they want to put together fight cards and stuff like that, they are going to be an essential asset to a lot of boxers' careers, because they're not making the type of money they would make if they weren't around. So when is boxing going to do what boxing is supposed to do? I'll wait. So, do I have a problem with what they doing? No, I don't. But we should have a problem with the fact that BoxRank is comfortable enough to rank him 4-0. We should be upset with the fact that BoxRank has Anthony Joshua like number 8, Tank Davis ranked number 10 in the pound for pound, and who is their 1, 2, and 3? They got them a little mixed up. They pound for pound list is all messed up. But we gonna blame the Paul brothers. Really? Look, man, people don't want to identify with the sport that this is a dying practice. People don't want to identify when I say, yo, we ain't getting shit. Like, yo, if it's bad, if this is bad, I'm telling y'all, I really don't want to know what worse looks like. I don't. Because, like I said, take a couple of hardcore boxing fans, put them in offices, man, and let them put together fights. Let them put fights together with no restraints, no borders, no gates, no bitching about crossing streets, none of the above, and let them make a fight card. And I guarantee you, it'll be asses in seats, because it's not that boxing is dead. It's that people are more than happy with trying to kill the practice of boxing. They want to kill the sweet signs for you and me and everybody else who love it. That's what they want to do. Because they keep separating us from the wars. And the things that got Sugar Ray Leonard paid wasn't the shit that's getting these dudes paid right now. The shit that got Mike Tyson paid wasn't the shit that get these dudes paid right now. The shit that got freaking, you name it. Go down the list. Go down the list. I could do this all day. But the shit that they do now wasn't the stuff that got your favorite fighters paid. The wars got them paid. Not hearing that they were 20, 21 years old and these dudes are too green, let's not throw them in a fight. We don't want to ruin them. That ain't what got Sugar Ray paid. That ain't what got Hitman Hearns paid. That ain't what got Marvin Hagler paid. That ain't what got none of them paid. The wars got them paid. And the wars is what put asses in seats. So when I look at Jake and Logan Paul, once again, I keep saying, hey, man, get your money. I'm not going to be mad at you. But I can identify with the super goofy shit that comes beyond it. And maybe this is exactly what boxing wants. You know, I hear people talking about this fight, the fight was rigged and all of the above, et cetera, et cetera. You would be a fool not to think anything. You'd be a fool not to think that there ain't some type of fix in place. And I'm not here to argue that. What I'm saying is there's been plenty of fixes in boxing for a very fucking long time. So when we look at somebody like Jake Paul having a 3-fight deal, I don't know why you would think they would put him in there with somebody legitimate that's really going to take his head off anyway, because he's the bag. He's the bag. Montana Love ain't the bag. Ivan Barancic ain't the bag. Tommy Fury ain't the bag. Amanda Serrano, she ain't the bag. She out here, she got to steal $10,000 from Eddie Hearn and duck freaking Katie Taylor. Am I lying? Jake Paul happens to be the bag. And they comfortable with moving us in this direction, ushering in this goofy shit, and they have not done everything they need to do by you as a fan, by me as an enthusiast and a freaking fan, and everybody else, and those who look at boxing like it could potentially be something, they haven't done enough. There is a reason why there isn't an influx of kids in this generation and the next generation wanting to be boxers. Because I'm sure if they parent is smart, they probably like, yo, ain't no money in it. There's a bunch of prima donna stuff going on. But look, build yourself up on this area. Man, I'd rather you go into YouTube and then be a boxer later. Because we can still get the bag and you can still get all of the glory too, because boxing isn't what boxing was. Now it's all about, we're so desperate, we have to look for a sure thing in people outside of the sport simply because we're not willing to risk O's. We're not willing to make our so-called superstars look super weak. We're not willing to have them compromise in positions to where, you know, they could potentially get their ass beat. So here come the Jake Pauls, the Logan Pauls, the video gamers, and all of their little video game friends. Here come the, you know, the headlines on Twitter and all of that being attacked by people who don't even have a casual understanding of what boxing really is. 4-round, 8-round events, exhibitions out the ass. Get ready. Shout out to Bruce Ford. Yes, Tommy Fury out here moving the needle. That dude don't even want to fight 6 rounds. He's only willing to give you 4. It's like some bitch that I don't even want to deal with for real, for real. Bitch, you got about 6 minutes to get your shit off. If not, I'm going to bed on you. Better yet, I ain't even going to bed on you. I'm going out the door on you. Quickie! Quickie! You got about 4 pumps, bitch. 4 pumps in a dump. This is a pump and dump scheme. That's all Tommy Fury is willing to give to the game. And who is this brother? I wonder where he learned how to exercise this clown shit. Just stop me when I'm talking some shit. Just stop me when I'm talking shit. So, does Jake Paul and Logan Paul beat a Pappy? I think they do. Because if any fighter got anything coming up, and if they think that is something of any significance, once again, if Jake Paul and Logan Paul want to come through and play Debo, throwing bows, moving everybody out the way, off of the card, and they like, nah, I want to establish myself as the main event. It's gonna happen because you ain't got the juice like that. You don't got the juice. Absolutely, he should have been credited with a knockdown. But were they going to give him the knockdown? No. It was the Jake Paul show. And to speak on Tyron Woodley, I must say this. My bad. Somebody was trying to call me and shit. I don't know why. I have to say this. If Tyron Woodley is weak enough to go out here and get a fucking tramp stamp that says, I love Jake Paul just so he can get in the ring with him, bro, you might as well just go ahead and just take yourself in the back room and kill yourself, because this is equivalent to you selling your soul. You willing to get a tattoo for another career high payday that says you love another man who went out there and you couldn't box with him? Or maybe you could and it was just presented to look that way to us. But either way, that's equivalent to selling your soul, bro. I don't think anybody in this zone, if they lost a fight or if you did lose a fight, yo, and y'all going to go get tramp stamps so y'all can get it back for a couple of dollars? Are y'all going to go get tramp stamps so y'all can get it back for a couple of dollars? James Jamerson, he might want to watch out because Mickey Rourke really with the shits. Mickey Rourke hang out. Look, Mickey Rourke was I always saw Mickey Rourke hanging out with Tupac and Mike Tyson, and that wasn't by no coincidence. That's because Mickey Rourke is really with the shits. And I even feel like the old plastic surgery Mickey Rourke, still muscular and all of that, skin flabby and orange, kind of like Hulk Hogan right now. I still feel like he'll put the hands on dude. Because once again, Mickey Rourke is with the shits. What's next, man? What's next on the list for us? I have no idea. But all I can say is I hope you guys bought a safety vest, Kevlar preferably, and I hope you brought a freaking helmet that's got a lot of stuffing on the inside to protect your brain from getting knocked around in that jump so you don't get a freaking concussion. Because it's going to be a bumpy ride, ladies and gentlemen. Because boxing is okay with letting us know, without putting it in words, that they're okay with not doing what they need to do by the sport. We just gonna bring the goofy shit along. It's a sad day. It's a sad era in boxing. And honestly, I don't know how much, I really don't know how much of this shit I got left in me. And this ain't even about me. It's not even about me. It's about the fans, bro. It's about the fighters, bro. But honestly, the fighters are benefiting from the polls. They benefiting. They not even benefiting from their own promoters. They benefiting from the juice that is Jake and Logan Paul. Pause. That came out real raunchy. And it might hurt a lot of feelings to say that. And a lot of people might be mad at me because I'm saying that. But all I know how to do is keep it real with y'all, yo. That's all I know how to do. Like where I'm from, you stand on the truth, man. I'm not going to sit here and do all of this poppycock fantasy. Like, yo, do you know how, like, bro, what's to look forward to? Okay, September 25th, we do have Anthony Joshua. That's great. You know, Oscar Valdez, he out this joint looking like a straight up fucking simp right now. Of course, the dude who fought Scott Quigg, who went the distance with Scott Quigg, got Scott Quigg breaking your jaw and everything, and then you fight Miguel Burchell, and all of a sudden you look like Superman once you join the Eddie Reynoso camp and shit like that. Now all of a sudden you popping out with diuretics in your system, huh? We know what that does. That's the A sample too. So 9 times out of 10, if your A ain't right, your B is damn sure going to flop. For real. The sport keeps taking hit after hit. Hit after hit. Boxing is the most exciting. Oh, my bad. I got another comment I was about to read Jeff shit. I'm going to go back to it. Boxing is forever shooting itself in the foot. Like the big, like Eddie Murphy treating that big bitch on Harlem Night, shot that whole bitch pinky toe off. Boxing ain't even shooting the pinky toe. Boxing shooting the whole damn foot. It's embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing that you would. Did you guys ever think that there will be a point in time where we will be looking at the boxers that's on the undercard of, you know what I'm saying, pretty much what is an exhibition, be thanking these guys to no end about the fact that, you know what I'm saying, they've made more money with Jake Paul than they've ever made in their lives? Yeah. I think that Showtime is going to take this shit and they're going to run with it. Because if anybody knows anything about Showtime, say, well, that shit is slim, but it's slim in the aspect of they've already done did all of their merry-go-round stuff. So now it's either, okay, let's interact with the other individuals in the sport, but they too selfish and too narcissistic to want to give anybody else credit. All of the credit's got to fall through them. So let's just continue to run this thing because we know this thing is going to continue to work. The 6ix9ine pick is perfect for this scenario because Jake Paul is doing boxing exactly how 6ix9ine did rap. Rap fans call 6ix9ine a rat while their favorite rapper has mile-long paperwork. These are facts. And it's funny to me. And yo, shout out to Whack 100, man. Shout out to all my bros from the West Coast in here, man. You know what I'm saying? My family from I was from Watts too. So you know what I'm saying? I can identify with the politics on some level. Shout out to Whack 100 because while everybody is sitting up here shitting on that situation, I do believe it's a lot of niggas that be letting rats breathe in their neighborhood on a regular basis, and boxing is getting along the same way. While you sitting there like because he kicked in the door and he made waves, now all of a sudden we gonna act like all of the problems that's going on in boxing should rest on the shoulders of Jake Paul and Logan Paul. Nah. They just came through this joint with a whole bunch of alpha male energy and a whole lot of intellect. Come through this joint, get in the bag, smart enough to get the bag when, you know what I'm saying, boxers and boxing ain't even smart enough to get the bag on their own. Are we going, look, I ain't never been a part of this sport to where it's like, yo, we supposed to hold the hands of fighters and shit like that. Boxing ain't never been built like that for me. You should look at a bunch of shit already that's been placed in front of you and look at all of the people that have failed, all of the people that have gotten fucked over, and you should make it a point to not do it yourself. Or maybe you should get your ass up off the porch and stop letting so-and-so handle it, whether it's Bob Arum, whether it's Eddie Hearn, whether it's freaking Al Steelman, whether it's any one of those dudes. Maybe you should grab your career by the reins and maybe move a little bit different. Because I'm telling you, while the Juan Montiels and the Lemonhead Red Cats and the Mariagas of the world and who else? You know, those C-level fighters are constantly getting recycled around and thrown on your card or whatever, thrown on the next card and the card after that. It's like, dude, man, how many times are we going to be seeing these dudes get their ass whooped? All boxing is 80-20 shit. It's 80-20 shit. So I'm sure when people look at the Jake Paul situation and the Tyron Woodley situation, they're looking at it like that's more 50-50 than boxing has ever offered you in how many years? Boxing only offers you 50-50 to a certain extent. I don't know when we're going to be able to even out the playing field and we could balance out the scales because once again, these dudes know that they can go train for 6 to 8 months and come over and make a couple of $1 million, man. And they got a crowd that follows. And see, that's the difference between the Jake and the Logan Pauls of the world, and that's the difference between the boxing fans of the world. A lot of boxing fans get on these social media sites and all of that stuff, and they talk a bunch of shit, and they say that they got this, and boxing for it, and people fake like boxing has this can-do attitude, and boxing has been so cocky for so long, thinking that they always going to be at the top of the hill, that, you know what I'm saying, they've never really worried about what is or what ain't. But now all of a sudden, you got these guys coming over, and they doing what they supposed to do. They fans spending. Here's the difference between they fans and a lot of these boxing fans. They don't spend their money. They don't follow. They don't come out to watch the fight. Like, for real. Not like my fan base. I'm pretty sure y'all motherfuckers ain't for real. I can't speak for y'all as men, but I'm going to say this because I do it. I'm not spending my money on a lot of these events. Why? Why wouldn't I crack stream the fuck out of that bitch? Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I crack stream the fuck out of that whore? It ain't no good. It ain't no good. It ain't what you wanted. It's what you settled for. So in a lot of my ways, and when I say people doing stuff like that, the way I feel about it is, yo, they doing it like that because y'all ain't give them what their viewership is worth for so long. So why wouldn't they go ahead and fire up the crack stream on you? Because you ain't done nothing for them. So why do they feel like it's necessary for them to come to the table and support you unless it's from a tribalist aspect or a tribalism aspect or a tribal aspect, or it isn't from an aspect of, you know, the bang that you're going to get for your buck? Why wouldn't you go ahead and fire stick that thing out? Because their viewership on our behalf has been 1000% ass, man. Like if you took a credit card and you slid it down the ass cheeks, stand a crack of somebody's ass, ain't no money going. You're not going to get charged. And that's what boxing has basically been like. If I'm going to take my credit card, it's equivalent to sliding it down some ass cheeks, pretending like it's a cash register. So why not go ahead and take that lighter, fire that thing up, or go ahead and take that crack string, fire that thing up and go ahead and get your viewership? Because spending your money on boxing ain't been money well spent, has it? Has it? Hey, man, look. It seems like boxing is protecting themselves, right? Boxing is protecting themselves. They pulling back on a lot of the cars. Shit, even DAZN and Eddie Hearn is pulling back on a lot of the cars. Shit, we see from the promotion, shoot, they don't even advertise these guys, man. Come on. If they're pulling back on the cost on you and I on a consistent basis, and we can constantly see it over and over and over and over again, why wouldn't we pull back ours too? Because basically what you're saying to us is, we don't give a fuck about y'all. Y'all don't count. So don't be mad. Don't be mad when your shit is trafficked in streams in high volumes. Because honestly, this is where your money is supposed to go to, fight fans. You spend your money, okay, like say if you go out, like there's how many PlayStations right now? There's five PlayStations, correct? The first PlayStation came out, took the world by storm. We fell in love with it. We played it. We realized, yo, this is legit. And everybody who had a Nintendo, everybody who had whatever they had at the time before the PlayStation dropped, they was like, yeah, that was the tried and true system. You knew what you were getting for your money. So PlayStation drops, boom. You know it was a hit. So when the second PlayStation dropped, what happened? Record-breaking sales. Third PlayStation drop, we got people camping outside in tents. Fourth PlayStation drop, people are going to do the same thing. Fifth PlayStation drop, shit, you can't even get it in a store. People are using bots and all types of stuff to get it. It's what I'm speaking to is the extremes. I'm speaking to the extremes of what knowing the value of your buck and the product is doing for you. When you know you have a successful product, it ain't nothing for you to come out of pocket for it. But when your product isn't successful, or when your product is went from Sugar Ray Leonard, goddamn phone, hold on, y'all. The fuck up. So when your product is went from Sugar Ray Leonard, Mike Tyson, when it went from George Foreman, when it's went from fucking Vinnie Paz, when it's went from shit, you name it. Pernell Whitaker, Oscar De La Hoya, Felix Trinidad, Winky Wright, shit, Jermaine Taylor, fucking Kelly the Ghost, Pavlik, you name it. When we was getting that type of shit, the Alien, the Executioner, Mr. Can't Be Touched, Can't Be Stopped, all the way down to Mr. Float Like a Butterfly, Sting Like a Bee. That was a tradition that continued to proceed in excellence for decades on end. We knew what we were getting for our money. Even up to the 2000s, we still were spending our money. But then as you started getting later into it, now we in what? 2021, ready to go in 2022. What has happened? The product has changed. The advertisements ain't the same. The level of marketing is switched. So nobody's trying to dig in their fucking pockets right now. There was nothing about boxing that makes me want to camp out like going like back in the day, trying to go get that 80 gig or that 60 gig PS3. You feel me? I think I've seen Dolomite with a super chat in here. Try to scroll down to it. Just a bunch of fire emojis and on point. Shout out to my dog for the super chat, man. You know how we gotta cook, man. No filter, man. We just gotta keep it. We just gotta keep it a buck. So you can call it some dirtbag shit when people stream. You can call it some fucked up shit. You can say, oh, they're not supporting the fighters. What about the fighters that do? Well, okay, the fighters that do, they can't. What they want to do, they can't do it. So should he not stream it? Is okay, so is the streamers gonna pretty much make no, it's not the streamer's fault. It's the business of boxing's fault. Because I even remember fights that were being streamed, whether it was Canelo and Triple G, et cetera, et cetera. Did them motherfuckers sell 1 million tickets even when they was being streamed? Didn't they do 1 million plus on pay-per-views? So it shows when we are in full support with our dollar and we are truly content and happy with the level of success that we are getting based on the performance of our fellow beloved boxers, we are more than willing to pull our money out of our pockets and not think about it like, you know what I'm saying, like a pastor or try to shame you for not putting $1 in the collection plate. We good. We good. And we're more than willing and we're more than happy to. But right now the business has changed. We done went from having some PlayStations to fucking Dreamcast. I can't make this shit up, man. I can't make it up. Jake Paul's future fights will be filled with all-star fighters on the undercard. Jake Paul is for the people. Young fighters, aging fighters, women fighters will appreciate the people's champ, Jake Paul. Look, at the end of the day, all I can say is this. Jake Paul be the pappy, man. And people can get as mad as me as they want, but this is the truth of the matter. And I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Speaking mind, sports talk in the building. D. Jeff, salute. You think, at Jeff said it, you think Fury beats AJ? Usyk is a good learning curve. What does Fury learn from beating Wilder again? I'm a Fury fan too, but this is the AJ Usyk conversation. I'm not there. I'm not there. And speaking to another aspect of the PlayStation shit, people even willing to spend, they willing to overspend on them bitches. If I didn't emphasize on that, people are willing to overspend on the product. So if we got what we wanted in boxing, don't you think we will be willing to overspend on that shit too? Well, guess what? It'll never happen again. I don't see, well, of course, I'm getting the Anthony Joshua versus Usyk thing. And Jamel Herring versus Shakur Stevenson, I will be supporting. I will be supporting Chocolatito and El Gallo. I will be supporting Rung Visai and Quadrahas. If I butchered his name, I'm sorry. Sorry, Carlos. We'll be supporting that because we know the bang that we're getting for our buck. But outside of that, how far does our support go? I'm going fishing. I'm going fishing on a stream. You feel me? Vlad and Vitaly started the U.S. boxing and boring as fuck. Mayweather kept it going and Wilder finished it. See, look, the crazy thing is I don't even blame Vlad and Vitaly. Like shit. It don't matter what part of the country they come from. You can call them boring all day long, but if they whooping your ass and they out this joint dominating, then motherfuckers need to find a way to beat that dude. If you're the dominant champion in that era, I'm not gonna go ahead and make you the downfall of what American boxing truly is, especially when you're dominating everything and all things. Now, where did the American heavyweight go during their run? Oh, I'll wait. Yeah, we ain't really had one. Now, did we? It's their time, man. It was their time. And if anything, people should appreciate what Vlad and Vitaly brought to the game. At least they were real. At least they were real. Deontay Wilder's name shouldn't even be mentioned in the same breath. And if Deontay Wilder is what ruined the sport, if Deontay Wilder is what ruined American boxing, somebody please show me. Because he's just one clown in the sport that's always had a clown, that's always had a delusional, narcissistic bastard that's always existed in boxing. There's always been one. There's always been one. There's always been a belt that was held hostage on some level. Like at the end of the day, Deontay Wilder is only going to do what Deontay Wilder is told. Clearly, we know this. Deontay Wilder don't put on no suit. Deontay Wilder ain't matchmaking. Deontay Wilder ain't making no cards. He's just the person that they have at that time holding that belt hostage. So really, it should be more of the PBC's practice should be that focus if it's Deontay Wilder. I ain't going to put that on him. Deontay Wilder didn't ruin American boxing. He's just a fuck nigga in a ruined market that people are more than happy to continue to keep ruining. I ain't going to put that on Wilder. I ain't going to put that on Vlad and Vitaly, who actually can fight. If they so boring, then why don't somebody knock them off then? Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. Tyson Fury did that. Was he sensational when he did so? Nobody did it. But what did he do for everybody? He chose Twinkies, alcohol, and cocaine. And when he ran out of coke, he tried to sniff the white shit in the middle of the Twinkie. That's how addicted he was. So no, it's not Deontay Wilder's fault. Deontay Wilder embraces the fact that, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, look, man, I'm going to take advantage of what y'all giving me. Look, man, I know what these dudes doing out here. I know who really can throw what, who can really move like what, who's really dominating on what type of level. Let's avoid that and let's get this money. But that goes back to the practice of where you have these elite programs and things of that nature where guys can come over for football, basketball, volleyball, baseball, fucking drag. I'm just being an asshole now. But you can. Anybody can just jump out here if you have a decent size and a different physique, and you can take on what was, I would say, heavyweight boxing from a couple of years ago. Well, shit, you can probably even exist in it now to a certain extent. Even now. I mean, shit, the market was left wide open for any Tom, Dick, and Harry that has some level of charisma and some tall tale of a fucking strong right or left hand to fill that void and make that money. But still, when it came down to if we're going to speak to reality here, let's speak to the reality of the fact is Deontay Wilder was never known for moving seats. So he couldn't really be the problem. He couldn't put asses in seats anyway. Am I lying? He couldn't put asses in seats. So it can't be his fault. I know what could have put asses in seats. Who told him it was chump change to take that $120 million? I'll wait. Oh, that's chump change. Well, what the fuck were you paying him, Al? What were you paying him for you to sit at the table with Luda Bella, Eddie Hearn, John Skipper, and them? What were you paying him to say that this is chump change? Y'all gave that motherfucker a measly $20 million. A Dominic Brazil fight, a Luis Ortiz fight where I believe he got paid somewhere about $5 million to pay-per-view, fucking straight tanked. And then he got Tyson Fury again where he made what, upward of 30? They didn't even break even. The gate was beautiful, but as far as the pay-per-view sales, wasn't what it was supposed to be. So a guy who isn't known for moving fucking seats, a guy who doesn't move any seats, he can't take the blame for it. But once again, boxing must blame boxing for its practices. So get ready, stand up tall, stay 10 toes with it, and just embrace the fact that the Jakes and Logan Pauls of the world are here because they ushered them in this way. And don't motherfucking scoff at those dudes. Don't middle finger up those dudes for being smart enough to go ahead and get the money, because it was a lot of money left on the table. Boxing left a lot of money on the table. Jake Paul and them wasn't going to do that. Hell nah. Somebody had to give these two individuals the game. Well, really, I can't even say that, because if Brandon Marshall, the spokesman for freaking mental health in the NFL, can look at the boxing world like, shit, hey, I can move over this joint and go ahead and knock somebody off. Shit, Dominic Brazil was a quarterback. If we could, and if Deontay Wilder as well. If Deontay Wilder was a 6'7" dude who was uncoordinated, who couldn't make it on the basketball field, couldn't make it on the football field, and knew that he can come over and roll through the Olympics swinging like a sissy, get a bronze medal, and come in here and make money, shit, I ain't blaming him too. Niggas was smart enough to see that, damn, who is the big dog in heavyweight boxing? Who getting money in heavyweight boxing? But apparently, if I'm looking at all these other fights, they just as foo-foo. Why not us come in here and get this money too? Because, yeah, a few of these dudes might be fake, but there's nothing faker than the practice that we're in. Because once again, when I say is Jake and Logan Paul the PAPPY, I have to say yes, because boxing has not done everything it's needed to do to secure its spot financially. They haven't. Just a YouTube kid and became one of the greatest fighters today. Jake Paul has the greatest first half career in boxing history. Man, look, I don't know whoever this dude is, man, but trolling is a hell of a drug, obviously. Trolling is a motherfucking hell of a drug. This shit is crazy. Didn't I tell y'all they were coming? Even though I know this is a troll here, but I told y'all this was going to happen on Sunday, right? The shit that you seeing pop up across the feed right now. This is the shit I try to prepare y'all for, because this nigga's trolling, whoever this nigga is. But it's going to be a bunch of people who aren't, and we're going to assume that they are. And we're going to be taken aback to find out that they dead ass serious, because this is the sport today. The little guys, all fire, ferocity, under 135 pounds. But apparently, if it isn't 130 pounds and downs, man, we not going to get nothing done, man. BoxRec got Kazuto Ioka ranked fucking what? Number 9? Number 8? Like, BoxRec has Tyson Fury rated above Kazuto Ioka. And we wonder where the fucking problem lies. Once again, man, when you rank a person 4-0 and you're willing to throw them out there and you're willing to throw them in BoxRec, it should easily be identifiable what the problem is. Just let them have it, man. I just let them have it, Miguel. I told y'all this shit was coming, man. I told y'all this shit was coming. My man said he on the road. He can't really text, man. He just want to say what's up to everybody. So, yeah, man. It's unfortunate. But don't blame those guys, man. Like, this should be the point to where everybody should be on some shit like, okay, if you really despise it, if you really disliked it that much, then what are you going to do? Fighters, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I know what you're going to do. You're going to jump on that co-main and get paid better than you ever got paid in your motherfucking life. Get the fuck out of here, bro. I know what they going to do. They going to jump on these co-main events and be more proud than anything to give more money than they ever made in their puny existences. Realistically. It's all you can do. It's all you can do at this point. What does that have? What does Jake Paul being younger than Gervonta Davis have to do with anything? Hey, look, like I said, man, you can't really hate on the goofies that really want to troll this crap, because if you really look at the world of boxing right now, they clearly have their stake in it. They do. And it's going to, like I said, and I'm going to continue to say this, yes, it's going to upset a few people. But yes, they do have a stake in the sport. And when they're moving 16,000 seats and you can't even name 3 boxers that can do the same. And I ain't talking about the usual suspects. What fighters out here are filling 16,000 seats? Yeah. So they have some sort of claim on the sport because obviously they're wanted. People want to know what's going to happen. We can't even get a 50-50 from the boxing world, but we can get a 50-50 from Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley and 16,000 seats filled. My God. The Rainbow Gang is winning. The Rainbow Gang is winning, and boxing is more than okay with that. Sad time for a sport, my people. I'm telling you, man, I'm about to start talking a bunch of UFC shit. I'm about to open up another channel that just focuses on me doing breakdowns and things of that nature that has absolutely nothing to do with boxing, just life, because I'm telling you, I'm not going to continue to have this conversation. I'm not going to continue to be here to talk about there's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to talk about. Niggas is pissing dirty. Woohoo! What's new? What's new? But we're gonna cape for them dudes. When them niggas piss dirty, we're gonna cape for them because it fits the narrative. Hey, he might suck to you, Wizard Sleeve, but apparently he don't suck the 16,000 people in where were they at, in Cleveland, Ohio. Logan Paul obviously doesn't suck to the 1 million plus pay-per-views, him and Floyd Mayweather. So I'm saying, when they have a stake in what's supposed to be what we're supposed to practice, what's supposed to be the sport that we love so much, guys ain't doing it, man. So this is the thing, man. Yeah, like Don't Ask Me said, it is a shot in the arm, and boxing does need to be revitalized in some aspect of where something's got to give. And I get that. But just like I said to my bro, Don't Ask Me, I was like, yo, a shot in the arm is temporary. You know what I'm saying? So maybe they're not even looking at this from a shot in the arm aspect. Maybe, like I said, this is going to be a continuing trend. They want this. Showtime has no problem with this being a continuing trend, as long as they have the marketable stars that are willing to make it look somewhat real. They're always going to have a broke-ass J. Leon Love and a couple of other people that are more than willing to trade them. Fury versus Wilder 3 have tickets available after 3 months on sale. Absolutely. And I don't encourage anyone to buy that bullcrap. And that's why. Because once again, why is it we've been dealing with this situation for how many years now? How many? 3 of them things? I'm off it, bro. The first fight took place in when? December of 2018, correct me if I'm wrong. It is 2021. I repeat, the first fight took place in December. I believe it was on the 5th of December. I might be wrong. But it was December of 2018, and it's 2021. And here we are about to go back into October, and we're supposed to be looking forward to this, and there's no guarantee that that's going to happen? Hell yeah, they should still have tickets available. Because nobody gives 2 fucks. They're not giving us anything new. Shit, Deontay Wilder hasn't even had a rubber match. If you really cared about the craft that much and you really were trying to get better, then shit, you wouldn't want no type of inactivity. You would want to be active right now. And all of the time that's been prolonged, I'm sure they could have found some spare time for Deontay Wilder to knock out or use the time that is given to him within the 12 rounds and try to work on things in the ring to prepare himself for a Tyson Fury. Everyone in here believes it's going to be railroaded. And you don't grab a Malik Scott to convince me or change my mind. And you're not going to grab a Malik Scott or hit a bag a couple times or throw a couple of combinations, and you're not going to change the people's minds. So that's why 3 months in, tickets, yes, they're most definitely going to be on sale. And they're going to continue to stay on sale too. I hope them bitches grow mold. Because I ain't buying the shit. And I don't expect none of y'all to do it either. These boxers going to join the whole train and get that money. Man, they ain't got no choice to. They ain't got no choice to. Because, and their bosses would probably tell them to do so. And most likely would. Okay, guys, I need y'all to inform me of something or correct me if I'm wrong. Did Demetrius Andrade and Luke Keeler go on last, or were they the co-main to those social media guys when that fight took place in Miami on that DAZN card? Were they the main event, or were they the co-main? Because I can't remember. Boxing fans trying to hold their bias standard to troll Jake Paul. They don't even hold their favorite fighter to that standard, which makes me troll the game even. Man, facts. You want to troll Jake Paul and blame Jake Paul and Logan Paul for all your problems, but you don't hold your fighter to the same standard. I swear to God, all of y'all motherfuckers, not saying the Reaper gang, but all of y'all motherfuckers champion for Ryan Garcia and all his mental health woes and stuff like that and said, hey, we're supposed to feel bad for the kid. Sergio, what's up with the bro? Salute, fam. I do believe. I'm sorry, y'all. Motherfuckers keep calling my house. There you have it. Salute, John. Be poetic. Demetrius Andrade and Luke Keeler were the co-main to those social media dudes. So like I said, man, GIFI, they going to have to get in where they fit in. And a lot of y'all fighters are going to have to understand that y'all are going to have to get in where you fit in as well. Because once again, as long as Jake Paul and Logan Paul are around, or anybody with any type of social media following, y'all are going to follow underneath. They are going to be the head. You're going to be the hee-haw, the tail. Sad. But I make it very clear when I say that I don't blame them for any of boxing's problems. I make it very clear. And that's why I say that's where the hate should stop. I can't tell anybody how to act. But I would like to, you know what I'm saying, lend different perspectives so people can understand that this problem isn't on the shoulders of Jake and Logan. But no matter what, they're going to be the ones to sit up there and call them that. They're going to be the ones to sit up there and say that this is Jake and Logan Paul's fault because it's easier for them to do that than to blame their favorite fuckboys. Where's the accountability? Where's the accountability? There is none. The only people that tend to hold you accountable are ones that happen to have smaller channels, such as myself and other individuals. You know, like shout out to Julius. Julius is growing rapidly, very fast. He's the one person that I need to grow. Because no matter what, he ain't going to waver in his perspective. I'm not. It's the people like him, the people like myself, the people like D. Jeff, the people like DT3. It's the people like several other people anybody who stand on their square. and ain't going to sugarcoat shit for you or let you exist in your delusional perspective when it comes to you want to be selective with your choices and who you want to blame, when you're not even realizing that, you know what I'm saying, your favorite fighters who's supposed to be main event is supposed to be that night are fighting on the undercards of social media fighters when the promotional outfits don't want to put the necessary fights together, and you find it easier to blame him because what? He acts like a clown 24/7 in his profession? That's been his MO. You think you're hurting Jake or Logan Paul for showing mass hysterics? You think you're hurting them by doing that? That's been their MO. So, but Ryan Garcia, y'all letting him slide, right? Hey man, we all coming together, and we're all gonna share the pain that Ryan Garcia has, because you know mental health is such a fucking thing. I've never seen a weaker generation in my life, man. To where people are so willing to make excuses for people's mental health, be all these SJW champion all of their little bullshit, all their little social freaking justice, freaking this little fake woke shit. Y'all motherfuckers champion for emotions and cowardice. Period. Emotions, cowardice, and a lack of accountability. That's what people consistently champion for. But it's easier to point the fingers at those guys because they just don't give a fuck. They don't. And if you think they do, that shit's falling on you. All of your typing and all your frustrations in capital letters with your little fuck you quotations and shit. It means nothing to them. Cause while y'all fucking laughing, calling them clowns, them clown ass niggas is laughing all the way to the motherfucking bank. And the niggas underneath of them, fighters who are bringing the excitement to the card, they ain't nothing but low fucking hanging fruit. Hey man, I'm just lending perspective. That's all. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. Man, if I want to watch boxing, I'll throw on Southpaw Creed. I'm in the fictional realm now. Yeah, man, shout out to Gladiator, shout out to Raging, shout out to, you know what I'm saying, the Raging Bull, one of Martin Scorsese's best work, man. Robert De Niro at his freaking finest, man. The Jake LaMotta story, if you haven't seen that. Shout out to goddamn every Rocky that ever existed. I don't care how corny people say the Tommy Gunn shit was. I fucked with it. Shout out to, man, look, man. It's sad that we search instantaneously for, like, we just search for excellence that is no longer here. We search for a level of prominence that is no longer here. And all it is just like, you know what I'm saying, you're searching for excellence in daylight with a flashlight in the boxing world. And it ain't there. The prestige that was boxing before and the things that was boxing before, when people say, oh, you need to stop talking about the old cats, blah, 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 blah. I'm tired of hearing people talk about the old cats, whatever. There's a reason why you talk about the old cats and what they brought to the game, because we have to know where we were to understand how we got here. Duh, stupid. So yes, we're going to continue to talk about the level of competition. We're going to continue to talk about how they done took rounds off, how they done made, you know what I'm saying, more belts, how they motherfucking done changed the weights up and stuff like that to accommodate these fighters and shit like that when they didn't even have to fight under the same restraints. And when you think of the type of money that the fighters before you made, the type of shit that they had to fight up underneath, how hard it was for them to make their freaking way compared to these guys, and you listen to them bitch, moan, and complain about every little thing and feel like they're entitled to get all this freaking money when they haven't even fought a top 10 fighter in the world. Ryan Garcia got his contract changed twice before he ever saw Luke Campbell. And Luke Campbell has never been anything more than a guy who's hit his head on the ceiling of elite. Every time he's tried to perform, he's come up short. So I'm just saying, man. All right, let's be realistic with the fact that boxing stands in boxing's way. Boxers are comfortable with being cowards. When you hear a person say that, oh, this person don't rock over here, they don't rock over there, blah, 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 we can't get this money, we can't do this, bro. What type of ambitious person, what type of ambitious man tells himself he can't without going out and trying it first? You can't say Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence will fail if you're not even willing to try it. Or you're not willing to try any other co-promote events of that caliber and have a measuring stick for whether it's going to work or not. You can't do that. That just shows me you're comfortable. But regardless, as long as you're comfortable, as long as the fighters are comfortable, as long as everyone's comfortable with what's going on and everyone's with the shits, then understand and be comfortable with the tactics of the trolls that are in the chat, the people that really believe in the Jake Pauls and the Logan Pauls and all of the other gamers of the goddamn world. Stop calling my phone. And as long as we're comfortable with that, ain't shit gonna change, man. D-Town Blaster, salute. Appreciate you with the super chat, Brody. Says, shout out to the eyebrows of the face of boxing on Super Nipple Hump Day. Shout out to the face of boxing's eyebrows, though. The eyebrows, though. Oh, the face of boxing is definitely coming back. I'm just waiting for my mask to get in the mail. Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. I'm waiting for my rolling mixer, my mask. There's a few things that's supposed to be showing up to the Reaper's door. Because, I'm about to be really putting foot in boxing's ass in a much more polished way on Reaper Gang Radio. We're really about to turn it up on them. But like I said, man, get comfortable with the herbs and the nerds and the people who don't care about your favorite fighters and the ones who think that their nerds are greater than your favorite fighter because we've allowed it to get this far. But once again, I won't blame Jake Paul. I won't blame Logan Paul. Anybody who is smart enough to understand that they can capitalize on something to where, hey, they're more than welcome in this. They're more than welcome in this space. And if they're not welcome and if the fighters aren't welcoming them, they need to vocalize that on an air horn kind of level. They need to echo that shit all through social media. If the fighters aren't feeling it, because the promoters definitely feeling it. And when the fighters echo that shit, they better have some valid reasons why they don't want them here. Because to be perfectly honest, speaking of what Don't Ask Me was saying and what I've been saying, they're helping y'all dumbasses. They are. They're getting y'all more money. Your promoter ain't getting you more money, or maybe that's his way of getting you more money by bringing them in so they know they can trickle down the money a little bit better. But if you're tired of seeing it, when are you going to fucking jump on the air horn and let your promoter know, or let the right people or the powers that be know that, look, man, we're not trying to do this, man. Maybe if you put some of those that same marketing plan into us, maybe it'll look a little different. But the reality of the matter is these motherfuckers can't really afford to take chances. The money is tight. Niggas ain't throwing money around like that in boxing no more for failed practices no more, man. So they going with the sure thing, man. So that means Reaper Gang that Jake and Logan Paul be the pappy. They ain't to blame. And when is boxing going to start getting out of boxing's own goddamn way? Well, that's all I got for y'all today, man. As we always say at the end of this shit, it costs you nothing to pay a nigga no mind. Revenge of the Nerds is in full effect. And oh yeah, shout out to the Paul brothers for changing you motherfucking boxers' lives. Respect though.